Hi there. In this video, I'm going to be looking at the influences on operations management, specifically looking at corporate social responsibility. So firstly, what is corporate social responsibility? Well, it involves really doing more than what is just legally necessary for the benefit of the community and the environment. So it's really going above and beyond, or going a few steps further than what the law says you need to actually be doing. Now, it can be looked at in a phrase known as the triple bottom line, which is basically, is it for the business economically, but then also socially and environmentally. So, economic, social, and environmental benefit. Okay, or if you want to look at it another way, rather than economic, social, environmental, something a bit catchier, you can look at the 3 Ps. Profit, people, and planet. Okay, profit being economic, planet being environmental, and people being social. So it really is, how is the business not just looking at its own finances, but how is it affecting society, and how is it affecting the environment as well? So, in relation to legal compliance, which is something that we've already looked at, legal compliance can really affect a number of business areas, from labour laws to environmental laws, taxes, finance and accounting, and human rights. However, ways that businesses can reduce some of these compliance costs. Now, remember, the compliance costs are the expenses that a business needs to pay in order to make sure that they're legally compliant. One way to reduce these is to outsource. When the business actually has another business carry out some of its functions, in terms of the customer service center, the cleaning, the accounting, the manufacturing, whatever it may be. Generally, in developing nations, where the labour laws are a bit more lax, the minimum wage is quite lower, the environmental standards might be a bit lower as well. So, whilst outsourcing can help reduce compliance costs, it, however, opens up a whole other issue of ethical behaviour. Is reducing costs, which then leads to reducing prices for consumers, is that more important than, say, not using a business partner in China, which then pollutes river systems and destroys a rainforest, for example? So which one ethically, on which side does it really sit? Is which one's better than the other? And again, that's really difficult considering to determine, considering that all consumers want something different. So it's a bit harder to look at that. But it does open up that issue. In terms of ethical responsibility, when working across nations, it can be difficult to actually know how to be ethical. Okay. Now there are a range of organisations that do help. Oxfam, for example. There's also the International Labour Organization, the ILO. They provide guidance for businesses on ethical standards across the world, and it lobbies governments and lobbies businesses around the world as well to maintain or adopt new ethical standards for the betterment of society, of children and women, particularly as well, their working conditions, because traditionally, they're the ones that are doing most of the work in some of the developing nations as well. So the International Labour Organization really does try to raise the bar when it comes to dealing ethically in when outsourcing or when operating anywhere around the world. So I hope this brief video on corporate social responsibility has helped. The next video in the HSC operations series will start looking at the processes of operations management, starting with inputs. Thank you.